All right, guys, here is video number 2 for our interest lesson for today. We are talking about compound interest now. Okay, so go ahead and press pause, copy what you need there. The rest of my page is blank, actually. Okay, so you're good there. And then press play when you're ready. All right, compound interest. Compound interest is when it's compounded annually, okay? So the way it works, simple interest just gives you a one-time, okay, you have this much in your account. After 5 years, boom, I'm just going to go ahead and give you the interest on your principal, and that's it. Compound, it's done every year, okay? So it's actually nicer, okay? So let's say you have a balance of $500 in your account. Then they're going to give you interest for that year. Then the next year, they're going to give you the $500, they're going to give you interest on the $500 plus the interest from last year, and they're going to go on that one. So it's constantly being updated yearly, okay? So that one is a nice one because your money is just making money for sitting there, okay? Whereas simple interest is like, let me figure it out for 10 years, there, that's what I'm going to charge you, okay? Compound is compounded annually, okay? So the definition they gave us, it is earned both on the principal plus any previously earned interest. So that's what I was trying to tell you. It's going to be giving you the extra money on your principal plus any extra interest that you had there that you've been accumulating over the years, okay? Now, this formula is also given to you on your star chart. It's right underneath simple interest, and I can show that to you in a little bit. So it is given to you on your star charts, okay? And it's right underneath. The formula is A equals P, parenthesis, 1 plus R to the T power. And that's the one you have to be careful with, okay? That T is the T power. It's an exponent, okay? Yeah, let me go ahead and show you right now. I just pulled it up. And here it is. There it is, okay? So here is our star chart, okay? And if you see at the linear, right here in additional information, there's your simple interest, I equals PRT, and then there's your compounded interest right underneath that, okay? So I don't know why I made my P a lowercase. It should be uppercase. Sorry about that. Okay. So they are both right there. I equals PRT, and then A equals P parenthesis 1 plus R to the T power. You can tell right there, this T is an exponent, not a regular multiplication. Okay, so you have to be careful with that one, please. Okay. So letters, the variables, I mean, pretty much the same thing, except we don't have an I right here. We have an A, okay? Now, unlike simple interest, when we solve for it, it gives me the interest. Here, the variable A actually gives me the total value. That's the interest plus whatever I had deposited before, okay? So this doesn't tell me how much interest was accumulated. It just tells me my final balance, all right? So this one, if they want the interest earned, we have to do an extra step. Okay, but this gives you your final balance. So A is kind of like your final balance, okay, your account balance. P is still principal. How much did you initially deposit, or how much did you initially borrow? R is still our rate, and it's written as a percent, as a decimal, so we're going to go 2 places to the left. And T is still time in years. So the 3 main variables mean the same thing, okay? It's just this one gives you your final balance, whereas simple interest just gives you just the interest accumulated, okay? So let's take a look at the first example. It says a deposit of $50 compounded annually at 6% for 2 years. We're gonna find the total owed, and then we're gonna find the interest, how much interest was acquired. Now, what tells me that this is a simple interest problem and not a compound problem and not a simple problem? It's going to tell you guys. It's going to say compounded annually or simple interest rate, okay? So this one says compounded, which means I'm going to be using the compound interest formula, okay? So let's write that beast down. and it's given to you. You just have to know what each variable stands for. So A equals P parenthesis 1 plus R to the T power. Okay. Now, just like in the previous video, I'm going to go searching for all the variables. A is my final balance, and I don't have a final balance here, so that is my unknown. Okay. Then I have P. That is the principal amount. How much did I deposit or how much did I borrow? It's there for you. And here it says I deposited $50. Okay. Then I have R, because that number 1 is just number 1. It stays there. It doesn't represent anything but the number 1. So R is my rate. So we're looking for the percent. Do you see it? Right there. But you remember that percent has to be written as a decimal. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1, 2, and drop the percentage. Okay. And then I do have my little T here for time and years. It has to be in years. So look for the years. And there it is. And notice, guys, I'm not just circling the numbers. I'm circling what they represent. That's the most important thing in math. You have to understand what the numbers represent. They're not just numbers, okay? They represent something. So make sure you circle it all down so you understand it, so you comprehend what's going on, okay? Now that I acquired all the variables, let's plug them in. I did not find the variable A, so he stays A. P was 50. Then it gave me a parenthesis and a 1 plus R is 0.06 and T is 2. Now remember, it's an exponent, so he's on the top little bitty, okay? Now you have to remember PEMDAS, or the order of operations, okay? Do you remember what goes first? Parentheses, good, okay? So we're going to do this first. I'm going to do this over here to the side so you see how I do it. You remember when we added decimals? You have to line them up. So this is 0.06. My decimal's behind on a whole number, okay? So there's my other decimal, 0.6. So you can annex your zeros there to make everything look aligned with place value. And it's going to be 1.06, okay? So everything else comes down. I'm going to leave my 0.106 in the parenthesis, okay, because look, he has the exponent attached to it, so I got to leave it there. So I went ahead and added 1 plus the rate. Now we got to do the exponent, okay? Now, if you remember what the exponent means, it means I have to multiply 1.06 twice, okay? So this one's going to be fun, all right? So 1.06 times 1.06. You better hope that they never tell you 4 years or 5 years, because you're going to have to do this a lot, all right? So I was easy on you. I gave you 2 years, but you're at home. Always double check with a calculator, okay? So let's see how I do here. 6 times 6 is 36, and that's a 6. Okay, then here's my zeros. Skip a spot. Skip 2 spots now. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. And we skip spots because it's the place value, okay? That's why we're doing that. Now we're going to go ahead and add them up. Careful with the decimals. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now we have 50 times 1.1236. Okay. And finally, the last step is I get to multiply 50 times that. Do you see why I didn't put another example down here? So I'm going to take my 1.1236 times 50. Now, when I multiply times 50, that's just a 0. I leave it there, and now I start with the 5. Okay? It saves me room. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 3. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1. And 5 times 1 is 5. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And now my A, remember A is always going to be in money. So let's talk money. My dollars is $56. and decimal, 2 decimal place, perfect, 18 cents. I don't have to round anything because a 0 was in the next one. So A equals 56.18. Do you remember what A is? A is my final balance. That is my final balance. So my total owed or borrowed or whatever is going to be $56.18. Okay. So if they ask you for the total, your final balance or whatever, that's how you would find it. You're done. Okay. But if they ask how much interest was accumulated, okay, that's how you find the interest. Interest acquired. You would take your final balance, which is $56.18. So this is my final balance, and subtract my principal. Okay, so since my deposit was initially $50, that goes there. So I can subtract them, and I find that it gives me how much interest was acquired, how much interest was added. Oops, sorry. Okay, so I took the final balance, which is $56.18. Okay, I subtracted my initial principal amount, which was $50, which told me that the interest that was acquired or added to my account was $6.18. So this is $6.18. Okay, so kind of the same thing as the previous video, except we do have an exponent there. So be very careful with that exponent. Double check with the calculator, especially on this one, okay? All right, let's go ahead and do a try it out. There it is. Press pause and then press play when you're ready to see the answer. Okay? All right, now there's my keyword. It is compound interest. It doesn't say simple, it's compound, it's complex. So that means I'm going to use the A equals P parenthesis 1 plus R to the T power. Okay, now I'm going to go on a hunt. So A, I do not have my final balance. That is the unknown. There's the bell, sorry. P is the principal amount. Looks like I deposited $1,000. Okay. R is going to be my rate. There's my percent right there. And I'm going to go 1, 2 places, knock him out. And T is my time in years, 2 years. I was nice to you. I was really nice to you on that one. All right, so now let's plug them in where they belong. All right, I don't have an A. P was 1,000, that was my principal. Parenthesis 1 plus R, we changed to 1200s. And T is 2 years again. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and do the math. Hopefully you did the parentheses first and got 1.12 squared. Now the fun began. How many of y'all just used a calculator? Okay. I am going to have to probably double check my calculator here, but I should be good. And then skip a spot. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1. Skip 2 spots. 1 times 2 is 2. 1, 1. So on this one, double check to make sure you did move the correct amount of spaces over. Okay. And now we add. And count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have A equals 1,000 times 1.2544, 1.2544, or 1 and 2,544 10,000s, either way you want to say it. And now we multiply that, so 1 and 2,544 10,000s times 1,000. You know the trick with this one? Add those zeros at the end. Now do the 4. 4, 5, 2, 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So A is $1,254.40. And they were asking how much interest was acquired. Okay, so you remember this is the total balance. That's not the interest, okay? That's the interest plus the principal. So if you got to $1,254.40, you're good, but you need one more step, okay? We need to find the interest. So to find the interest, remember, I'm going to take my total balance, $1,254.40, and subtract the principal, which is only 1,000, which means the interest that was acquired was 200. I'm going to add a zero there so it looks nice, okay? The interest is $254.40, okay? That is the amount that was acquired. So my new balance is $1,254.40, but they're asking for how much interest was acquired. I just subtracted that from my principal amount and figured out that they added to my account $254.40. Okay, so if you were here, you're on the right track. You just have to remember, oh yeah, this is the total balance. They just want the interest. I'll just subtract it from the principal, and I got it. Okay, all right, guys. That's all I have for you today. If you have questions from the assignment, please come to the Google Meet so we can do the questions together, okay? And if not, then you have a great day, okay? Bye.